Google Ads isn't just for those with massive budgets like the big multinational brands out there. Small brands, in fact very tiny brands, are also getting results on Google Ads. But your budget, if it's small, is going to be a challenge. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do on Google Ads if you have got a tiny, minuscule budget. What are the key things you need to do to get the most bang for your buck for your tiny budget? Well, stick around because you're going to find out, and right at the end of the video, I'm going to reveal to you the bid strategy that you should be using if you have a very small budget. Firstly, what is a small budget? Because it's a pretty subjective term. Well, it completely depends on the industry you are in. Let me give you an example of two identical budgets, but one is small and one is basically impossible to run ads with. Say you're a small e-commerce business and you have a $1,000 per month budget for Google Ads, and you sell small electrical appliances and household things that you sell online through Google Shopping. $1,000 in this niche is a small budget. They could be spending thousands per day, let alone 1,000 per month. But then compare that to a business selling life insurance and they have the same budget, a budget of $1,000 per month. Although these two budgets are the same, the person selling life insurance can basically not do Google Ads, and here's why. The e-commerce brand will be paying around 20 to 30 cents per click they generate in their campaign, whereas the person selling life insurance policies, well, they're going to be paying closer to $10 per click, which is a massive difference. In material terms, it means the person selling life insurance could pretty much only generate maybe 3 clicks per day with a budget of $1,000 per month, meaning it's a complete waste of time. If you're only generating 3 clicks per day, you might as well take the flight, go over to Silicon Valley and hand Google the money yourself directly and cut out the middleman, because you are wasting your money. You're not going to get results getting 3 clicks per day. Just stop. If this is you and you can't generate much traffic per day with your budget, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks, even 10 clicks a day is not going to be enough to get a good result from Google Ads, you are better off using some other marketing techniques that can work for free, like cold outreach, like creating social media content like the video you're watching right now, or you can do things around social media as well. Essentially, you need a strategy that can just start generating sales for you, and you can reinvest that money into Google Ads once you start building the very bare bones of your business. Don't give Google your money if you can't make enough traffic to even get results from Google Ads. So say you do have a small budget and it's still feasible to run ads on Google with a small budget. So going back to that example of an e-commerce business with a $1,000 per month budget, if they're only getting 20 or 30 cents per click, they can probably get 100 to 115 clicks per day, which is a small amount of traffic, but we can work with that. So you can make that work, but here's what you need to do. The first thing is to massively niche down your focus. You really need to pick one single product or service to focus on. Because you have a small budget, there's no point in spreading yourself too thinly across all of your products and services, because you're not going to get meaningful data across all of those services. Going back to that e-commerce business example, if you're selling multiple home appliances, you can sell dishwashers, cookers, ovens, whatever it may be. If you focus your attention across all of those with only 100 clicks per day, it's going to take you ages to understand which products are your winners and which products are your losers. You're better off picking one niche within that, whether it's ovens, whether it's dishwashers. You want to focus on one thing, because that is the best way to get meaningful data on the performance of your products, and you'll be able to find the winners and the losers within that particular service or product. How do you decide which one to go for? Well, pick the one with the least competition and lowest CPCs. If you're seeing a service that is very competitive and CPCs are higher versus something where CPCs are a bit lower, go for the lower one, because it means your budget can work better with more traffic and you can compete more effectively with your small budget. Also look at the relative competition levels within each of those kinds of categories you're analyzing before you make your decision, because the Google Keyword Planner can give you all of these indications as to which potential niche you should go into. It will give you the details of CPCs expected at the bottom range, at the top range, the various competition levels. Use this data to decide which niche you're going to go for. Do not try and do everything. It's not going to work. So now you've chosen your niche, what you need to do next is really focus your landing pages. A lot of the time, some businesses will have a website that covers all of their products and services, and the page basically covers everything, and there's a call to action on the page to get in touch, and they will send traffic to that page from all of their products and services. With a big budget, that can work okay. Of course, it makes more sense to create niche dedicated landing pages for each service, but even more so, this is even more important with a small budget. If your budget is small, you have to have dedicated landing pages. You need to maximize your relevancy because you can't compete in many auctions, and you need to convert that small number of clicks you're getting into sales. And the only way you're going to do that is with a very niche landing page strategy. If you're going after dishwashers, I would even go as far as to make sure you're targeting specific potentially brands of dishwasher, if you can bid on those without mentioning them in your adverts, of course. But focus your pages as niche as possible for the keywords you are targeting. You want to maximize, first of all, on conversion rate, but secondly, on relevancy, which is one of the factors that Google looks at when it comes to calculating your ad rank. So that's a really important thing to remember as well. So now we get to the interesting parts. Now you've chosen your niche, you've chosen your keywords, you've got your pages perfectly set up and ready to go. You go in and you start building the campaign. What bidding strategy do you pick when you have a very small budget? Well, generally there's pretty much only two choices for very low budget campaigns, and that is maximize clicks or manual CPC. Yes, I know I keep saying manual CPC doesn't really work as effectively, and it's a bid strategy you probably shouldn't be using, and you should be using smart bidding. But when you have a tiny budget, it's important to give yourself that additional layer of control to make sure you're getting enough traffic to actually get sales. However, I will say I have seen some very low volume campaigns generating maybe 20 or 30 clicks per day do better with smart bidding than with manual CPC. But I think as a starting point, just to get the right traffic and pay less for that learning phase, you could start with manual CPC to have full control over your costs, or a maximize clicks strategy to get as much traffic as possible. You can gauge the quality of that traffic, add your negative keywords, see if you can get any conversions, and then you can migrate to a smart bidding strategy if the opportunity is there and you're able to convert that traffic. But the main reason I advise those with small budgets to go for something like manual CPC or a maximize clicks strategy is because when you're competing with a more smart bidding strategy like target ROAS or maximize conversions with a target CPA, these strategies will adjust the click costs based on likelihood of conversion, which means you are going to be targeting the highest priority auctions where Google's signals are telling you that this person is more likely to convert. And all that means is you're going to get massively higher CPCs, which in an ideal world, when you've got a healthy budget, is okay because you want to pay more for the traffic that is more likely to convert. You want to be in those more premium auctions. But when you've got a small budget, you don't really want to be in that position where you're burning through your budget in a handful of clicks, because you're never going to get conversions with so few clicks, even if the auctions you're going into are more likely to convert, because you need to be in more of them. If you're only in a handful of high quality auctions, you're not going to get many conversions. But if you had a high budget, you'll be in loads of those kinds of auctions and you will get more conversions, and smart bidding will understand the context and allow you to get more conversions overall. But with a low budget, it's just not going to do the job. It's just a compromise you're going to have to make. You can't bid towards a business objective. You're going to have to go for something more traffic based instead. Then finally, I want to address one more thing, which is if I'm talking about getting more traffic with a low budget and traffic being more of a priority than sales in terms of direct strategy on Google Ads, then what about the display network? What about Performance Max campaigns? Could you use those to get more results with a small budget and get more reach and more clicks? Well, Performance Max and display will give you more clicks and more reach for your money than any other campaign type I've mentioned here in terms of shopping or search campaigns, because you're not targeting people looking right now. The competition is a lot lower, so you can get more traffic and more exposure for your business. The only problem is with your limited budget, you want to target people as close to conversion as possible. And really, it should be done on search or shopping campaigns where people are looking directly. Even if you don't have the budget to compete that well, it makes more sense to spend the budget that you do have down at the bottom of the funnel as opposed to more upper funnel activity. You can migrate to upper funnel activity once you've got some results from search and you start getting more clients and upping your search budget. Once that's maximized, then you can start looking at things like performance max in the long term. But what I will say is, if your business idea is something that is a new concept, maybe it's an app, maybe it's a new way of doing something, a new service or a new product that people don't know, or solves a problem people don't know they have, or they don't know there's a solution for it, then this kind of campaign type can work quite well, because all you want to do at that point is introduce this product or service to people who could be interested. You want to form an audience based on the data points that you think will work for that audience to help solve the problems that they have. So in that case, display and performance max and other campaign types that go across Google's inventory could be a more effective way to get in front of those people than search, because of course with search there's going to be very few people looking for a solution they don't know exists. So that's something to consider as well. And one more point I want to make is this. Having a low budget is not a comfortable position to be in. You want to move away from that position as soon as possible. You don't want to stay down there fighting in the trenches with low budgets. You want to scale your budgets and make more money, because the more you spend, ideally if it's converting, is the more you will make. So that is a really important thing to remember. You need a roadmap to get out of your small budget. You use your small budget, you make sales, you reinvest that budget and increase it incrementally. Don't take profits out straight away, otherwise you'll never be able to scale. You have to start scaling your budgets and think of the long game as opposed to just extracting money out of a very tiny campaign when it could do with more budget and make you more money in the end as well. But let me know what you think. Do you have a very small budget, and was this video helpful to help you reframe your thinking around your budget and how to scale? Let me know in the comments. I reply to pretty much every comment I get on all of my videos. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to head over to darren-taylor.com for help with your PPC campaigns, and I'll see you guys on my next video.